Entrepreneuring Podcast. I am your host, Olivia Vanderford, and today I am here with a true detailed entrepreneur, Sydney Wellsandt. So nice to have you here today.
Yes, thank you, Olivia. I'm glad to be here.
To start off, I want to learn, what was one of your favorite businesses that inspired you to build your own?
Yeah, absolutely. So first started out growing up, I was really active with my hands. I loved creating things. And my dad does a lot of woodworking. He's a craftsman. So I've always had the idea of I wanted to learn how to do a trade. So he does custom cabinetry. And I loved the idea of being able to create something with your hands and pass that on to other people and incorporate that into their own lives. So that was an aspect of it. And then I was a part of the Catch-Calf program at National Western Stock Show when I was a freshman in high school. So that would have been 2018. And I was paired with a mentor and a sponsor. Her name's Jo Adams. And she is really active in the ag industry, but she's also a silversmith. So I got to know her really well when I was a freshman in high school. I had a little bit of an idea of the jewelry she created and what she did. However, I went back out to National Western in 2023 for an internship, and I met with Jo, talked to her about her business and what she does, and it inspired me to go learn how to silversmith.
So that's super cool because by going to like a stock show, you were able to find a mentor through that and learn more about a business that you're doing here in Engler.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit more about that. What's your main business that you're doing here? Could you talk a little bit more about silversmithing and why that's so impactful and important to you?
Yes, absolutely. So part of the reason why I love silversmithing is, one, I'm able to create something with my hands and pass that on to other people. But that piece that I'm creating and passing on to them can be a family heirloom. It's something that they can pass down for generations and generations. And when I think about my work, I truly want it to be, or the goal of what I want it to be, is to outlive me. And so when I'm gone someday, I still have pieces here that are carrying on not only my legacy, but also the families that they're a part of.
Yeah, that is super cool, having that lasting impact on people for years to come. So another question I wanted to ask you was, what was your very first experience in the Engler program, and why do you really like this program?
Yes. So this is actually a really fun story that I love to tell. So I originally went out of state for school. As a freshman, I went to Kansas State, and I realized after first semester it was just not the right place for me. So I had quite a few ties back here at the university, and one of the main ones was Madison Kreifels, who a really good friend of mine grew up with, and she was active in the Engler program that first semester. So after I transferred, she kind of was poking at the idea. She's like, I want you to look into it. I want you to consider it. Kind of here's all the great things that it's brought me. And so I was kind of on the fence about it, didn't take any Engler classes that spring semester. But specifically, my very first experience in Engler, I remember I had just gotten done studying in the library, and I went back to Massengale, and I ran into Liv Knitzer and Dominic Gitline in the hallways of the dorm. And they were all dressed up, and I was asking them, what are you doing today? They're like, oh, we have demo day for $50 venture. So we're about to go pitch the businesses that we started this semester. And Liv especially was like, you should come watch. You should come. It's like a community event. There's going to be other people there. You can come watch and hang out and listen to us pitch. Well, Liv was kind of wrong. It was not a community event. And I was the only one there who was not pitching their business. But I was so glad that I did go because at that time I was kind of stuck in comparison. I thought, you hear about all like the big successful businesses and you think that's what I have to have day one when you walk in the door. And that was not the case at all. And $50 Venture Demo Day really showed me that kids are finding niches or specific passions that they have and starting businesses through there. So it was after that day, I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to join Engler. So I signed up for 101 that next fall. And one of the things that I really, really love about Engler is I found that home that I had been looking for, and the whole reason why I had transferred away from K-State that first semester. So the people within these walls and the experiences that have brought me have been super valuable to my own college experience.
Yeah, that's what I hear a lot, is that Engler is a really, really cool community, and it's just a true home for a lot of people.
Yes.
So through that $50 venture,
Mm-hmm.
did you learn more about silversmithing through that? And can we talk a little bit more about the class that you've been doing
Yes.
with silversmithing?
Yeah. So I officially launched W Silver in $50 venture. So
Okay.
I did take that class. Super cool experience. It's a really fun class to take. And one of the really cool things is we have this garage full of all these tools, sponsored by Snap-on. And when I first heard about that garage coming together, I talked to Tom about how I wanted to have silversmithing tools in there, whether using them myself, using them for other people, or like when I'm gone someday and graduated, that other people can continue to learn how to silversmith. So we got all the tools that you would need to silversmith here in the garage. And I met with Tom about the idea of doing creative workshops and what that would look like and who we could bring in. And one of my mentors in $50 Venture was Kristen Brown, owner of Artifacts and Amulets here in Lincoln. And after my first meeting with her, I was like, do you want to teach a workshop? Because you have 20 plus years of experience. You have a successful business. You are the exact person we need to come teach a class. So earlier this semester, we put on an 8-week course where students came in 4 hours a week and learned how to silversmith and came out with 5 different jewelry pieces at the end.
Ah, okay. Super cool. And
Yes.
I don't know a lot about silversmithing, so could you explain like the process of it and the hard work that it takes?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say it's a very detailed, intricate process. And it was kind of a larger investment because you have all your different types of tools that you would need, but then also your silver that goes into it. So first thing I do is I choose a stone. And I get most of my stones here in the U.S., usually out of Southwest, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado area. And I start with the stone, and I choose a bezel wire that goes around it. So that's cut and shaped specifically for that stone. That is then soldered onto a flat silver sheet. And then from there, I add detailed pieces. So I like to add silver balls, rope wire, beaded wire, different kind of pieces. I've played a little bit with stamping and applique. Those pieces then get soldered on as well. You saw that out, then decide whether you want it to be a ring, a cuff, a pendant, a necklace, whatever. You add on those specific pieces, do a little bit of polishing and sanding, set your stone, and you have a beautiful jewelry piece to wear.
Ah, okay. Well, I have one more question before we move on about this. What is one thing that you've enjoyed making the most? Like, do you enjoy making necklaces the most, bracelets? What's something you really enjoyed making?
Yes. I love making statement pieces. So personally, what I like to wear most would be statement rings. But then I also have enjoyed creating lariats and those larger family heirloom pieces to sell. So I'm currently working with a bride to create a bridal set for her wedding next October. And then I also did a more recent one. It included her family brand. So finding those specific details of how can this piece really speak about you and where you came from. And then that's something that obviously they will be able to wear, whether it's a special day like your wedding or pass on to your children someday.
Yeah, so really connecting to families.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's kind of how you can grow your business, right?
Yes.
Okay, so moving on, how have you been able to promote your business through social media or other aspects through Engler?
So a lot of my promoting has been through social media. So I have both an Instagram and Facebook page, W Silver is what that is, and really posting the things that I'm doing and what I'm creating. And I've noticed that people really do love to see the step-by-step process, because that's probably the most often question that I get. It's like, how did you create this? Where did it start? So that's one of the things I really like to showcase. Otherwise, what's really cool and probably one of my favorite aspects of my business is I'm also an animal science major and I'm active in the beef industry. And my part-time job through college is at the American Gelbvieh Association. So I do a lot of work with the beef industry, and my friends and coworkers in the beef industry or ag industry as a whole, match the exact target customer of what I'm trying to serve through my business. So I would like to say I'm like a walking advertisement half the time, whether it's to a stock show, to work, out and about here on East Campus. And a lot of advertising has been, oh, what are you wearing? I like your jewelry. It's like, oh, I made it. It's for sale. So that's been a really cool aspect of seeing two different passions that I have and seeing them come together.
Yeah, so kind of having an advantage there of being an advertisement because of where you work.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So what would you tell people that want to start a business, but maybe don't know where to start, and maybe don't know maybe how to get involved in the Engler program?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say when it comes to the Engler program, the first thing to get involved is to walk in through the doors. That was really what it was for me. You have all these external people saying, you know, you should be involved. I think it'd be great for you for these reasons, but I feel like you don't fully comprehend that until you walk in these doors. And my hope for others is they can also find a home within the community, just like I have. So absolutely, when it comes to Engler, it's just creating those first contacts, whether it's reaching out to an individual person or walking in through these doors. But then when it comes to your business, it's to not being afraid to take a chance. For me, it was signing up for that silversmithing workshop, the first one that I did to learn how to silversmith in Omaha. Went by myself. It was a one-on-one course. Financially, it was a little bit of an investment, but it was also if I'm having this idea, I have this spark of creativity, if I don't act on it, then I'll never know what things could come out of it. So if I would have been too scared to sign up for that course, I would have never learned the trade, and I would never be creating things I am today.
Yeah.
So not being afraid to take those chances. Sometimes they can be a little bit of a financial burden, but if you have a creative spark, people are going to be able to buy into you.
Yeah, because I've always heard about this, like having that regret and maybe never taking that opportunity and never knowing where that might go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something I did not want to have.
Yeah, for sure. So talking more about your business, what would be one word you would use to describe your business?
I would say legacy. Not only the legacy that I want to leave behind with these pieces, with the goal of these pieces outliving me, but also the legacy that I hope that they leave in families.
Yeah, perfect answer. Perfect answer, because really talking about that generational impact.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Couple more questions here. What could be something you would tell someone, or you would tell your past self about becoming an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. I'd say that is for sure possible. That was one of the things that I told Madison Kreifels when we were in high school. I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I really see myself doing this. You know, I don't really have an idea of something that I'd want to start today.
Yeah.
So I would tell myself not to put myself in a box, that there's a lot of things that you can get out of college, this program, or even life as a whole, and to think things are possible even if it doesn't seem like it's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, and what would you tell kind of your past self being at K-State and now coming to UNL, looking at all the things you've done?
Yeah, I would tell myself that it'd be okay. I was really kind of worried that first semester was things just weren't quite clicking, and that college experience didn't really seem like it was something I was going to get or something that I was going to love. And now that's completely different. The friends that I've made here and the friends I've even been able to maintain there have been super beneficial. So I would definitely tell myself that it'll be okay. You're going to figure everything out, and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, and it sounds like you really found a community here in the Engler program here at UNL. So that's really great, and it was great having you here today.
Yes, thank you very much.
Wellsandt, and I might have to look into some of your jewelry.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.